So may I step away from diplomacy to commercial aspects of globalization? Last year, China's exports fell by 22%. And we're all betting on China plus one kind of uptick for India. India's manufacturing exports fell by 12% as well during that same period. So a bunch of businessmen who discuss global macro, were wondering what the solution to this is. Obviously, domestic productivity is one, more FTAs maybe another. What recipe do you see for India to be a much bigger player in the global supply chain?
I'm not questioning your figures, but like any figures, I think it's very important to drill down and draw the right conclusions. I don't think India should be depicted as a China plus one. I don't think you're being fair to yourself. I would say countries will invest in India, we ourselves will invest in India when we actually show our capability, our competitiveness, we create the infrastructure, we have the human skills, we have the institutional basis to become a modern economy which is contributing more to the global economy. And that is essentially what we've been trying to do for the last decade. Because what quite honestly happened earlier was it was almost as though we had given up on manufacturing. You had this narrative which said, oh, we're great on services, which was a cop-out, very frankly, of manufacturing capability. Now, in the last decade, you've seen a different direction. You've seen a conscious effort at creating the requisite infrastructure, which is articulated in the Gati Shakti initiative. You have seen developments like the performance production-linked incentives. The idea is to get world-class business into India. You have seen a recapitalization of banks and a credit support policy to business. And you have seen an overall easier to make it do business climate, which frankly contrasted with what at that time was an unspoken making it harder to do business climate. So this, the world will come to India, not because India is a China plus one, but because India has the capacities and the capability, the international credibility and the capability which will make us a good destination, and I think that is happening. Now, obviously there will be geopolitics in play, and the geopolitics will make a lot of international businesses hedge more. But I think it's important for us not to be complicit, to continue the path which we have done since 2014, to find ways of today growing manufacturing in this country, because at the end of the day, this is pro-employment policy. You cannot give jobs to people if you do not have expanded manufacturing in this country. And those who claim to, have to be pro-poor, when you look at what they were doing with industrialization and manufacturing and infrastructure, I think you could see what the disconnect was out there. So today, I do feel there is a big opportunity for us, because why is the opportunity? One, the world wants more supply chains. It wants redundant, resilient, reliable supply chains. The world does not want to see concentrated manufacturing in limited geographies. The world wants to see trust and transparency when it comes to digital business. The world wants business to be business. It's sensitive about, how business is handled politically by various states. I think all those things work in our favor today. So we have this opportunity before us, but that opportunity will not realize itself automatically. That would be a big mistake on our part, which we are fortunately not making. I think today we are trying to take full advantage of this. And if you look, whether it is starting with, the quality, the human indices, the literacy, the skills, the digital, the manufacturing, the easier to do business, the easier for living. All these are part of a total package which will make us a stronger industrial power. That's the direction that we're going.